Hear me out. Somebody needs to create an app specifically for child-free people. Like, seriously, just for people who know 100% they do not want kids.
Hey ladies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. How you doing today? As you know, this is your daily dose of truth. No fluff, no sugarcoating. So let's get into it. So imagine dating without the usual, how many kids do you have? A child-free dating app would really benefit child-free people who don't want kids but would love to have a partner, even if you don't get married, but at least have a domestic partner. That question not having to be asked would save a lot of us a lot of trauma. Most of us child-free people know, if you've ever dated anyone with children, that it's more about dating the person. You have to make sure you date that child as well. You have to date that child's entourage, that child's support system, if they even have any. It could even be a financial strain on you, supporting that person, supporting that said child. And baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, like it could be a lot dating someone with kids. And it's not about being selfish, it's not about hating children, it's not about hating single fathers, single mothers. It's about the fact that there's a really big group of us out there, and why not cater to us as well? This young woman came out and asked the question, imagine if we had a child-free dating app. So let's go ahead and hear her out. I do have a few more stitches to share with you guys, so let's get into it.
Hear me out. Somebody needs to create an app specifically for child-free people. Like, seriously, just for people who know 100% they do not want kids. There are a lot more of us than people think. People who have actually taken the time to think about it, and they're like, yeah, I do not want to be a part of parenthood. It's not for me, no thank you. And the awkward conversations of, do you want kids, would not even be a thing, because people who sign up for the app get into it knowing that they do not want kids, and the other person does not want kids either. Like, you've made peace with your decision, and you want to find other people who have also made peace with their decision. Dating would be so much easier if we had access to an app like that. I mean, granted, I'm married now, but me and my husband are both child-free, and we struggled for a long time in dating because a lot of people do want kids. And with being child-free, there's also a lot of judgment and kind of like condescending tones from other people because society expects you to want to have kids. But if there was an app, we could have probably avoided all of that. So I'm just saying, somebody build the app.
I'm about to start a dating app for people that don't have kids. Because I'm getting up there in age. I'm still in my 20s. I'm still youthful, but I'm not young. And you start to like somebody, you think they cute, you start scrolling, and boom! That kid is staring you right in the face. And it's like, damn, like, you just ruined a good thing. And I feel like if you have something you can't get rid of, for example, an STD or a kid, you should let people know that upon meeting them.
TikTok, I cannot be the only person who will not date people with kids when I don't have kids! Fuck! I'm sorry. I'm not even fucking sorry. So I had conversations with some coworkers. With coworkers, you talk about anything. You know what I'm saying? Kids get brought up. I'm probably one of the only ones that ain't got no kids. Okay? So I'm already up against a lot. All right, moving on. I'm gonna speak my piece. I ain't never been a bitch to shy away. They tried to convince me that I am the only person on this earth, basically, without kids that won't date somebody with kids. Because apparently, everybody got kids. How y'all gonna say everybody have kids and I'm sitting right the fuck here? I digress. They ask me, why won't you date somebody that has kids? The only thing sweet about me is my name, okay? That's it. I keep it 100. I tell them straight up, if I have the option to not have a broken home or have the chance to start a home unbroken, I'm gonna choose that first, rather than going with somebody who already has a broken house, a broken family, This is where y'all start getting offended. Tell me I'm lying though. Okay. That already has a broken home. I'm going to go with this option. Okay? Because let me also be honest. Whenever I do meet a man and he's like, yes, I do have a child, me and the mother aren't together, I'm I'm turned off from you. Because I'm already looking at you like, nigga, you lay your seed anywhere, and just leave. Is what it is. That's now a broken home. Well, I wasn't raised in a broken home. I don't want to raise my child in a broken home. This generation has gotten so... This generation thinks that having a baby is part of dating. What the fuck are y'all talking about? What? And because all y'all done fucked up. Misery loves what? Say it with me now. Company, bitch. No. I have more options than you. I have different options than you. You have to select from what you can get. I got options. I don't got to deal with nothing I don't want to. You don't either. But you also got a kid to think of. It's not just you you're thinking of. And I think at the end of the day, the options that I have that you no longer have really be fucking with y'all. To get over it, y'all need to heal that and move the fuck on. Because it could happen to me. It just hasn't. You know what I'm saying? And I've just been careful about it. I'm just mindful. I'm a very mindful bitch. I don't be letting everybody lay their seed in me. Not only that, if they try it, I'm covered. All right. With that being said, keep y'all's broken ass homes over fucking there. Yeah, it's a broken home and y'all get mad about that. Y'all hate to hear that shit. I feel like that group of specific people, y'all hate to hear reality, bitch. You created a broken home. You fucked a bitch and you weren't mindful about where you led your seed. Let me be honest with you. You don't care about what you do. I'm not even finna roast y'all ass on how them kids is finna grow up and react because their parents wasn't together. That's another big pill y'all gotta swallow. What is it? Fuck y'all. Shop where you can, bitch.
Okay, so I know nobody asked for my opinion, but I'm gonna give it anyways. I think that it's very fucking delusional for anybody, men or women, to want to date other people with no kids. Because the same way that people with kids feel about other people with kids is the same way that people with no kids feel about people with kids. Neither one of y'all are going to be a priority in each other's relationship. The men aren't going to be a priority to the women, and the women aren't going to be a priority to the men because the kids come first, correct? So now the same way that men come with baby mama drama, the same way women comes with baby daddy drama. Now, it might not always be the same, of course, because everybody has their own different situations. But at no point will you be a priority to him, and at no point will he be a priority to you. Now, also, in most situations, the kids live with the mom. So the kids are with the mom 24/7 during school activities. They're probably with the dads during holidays, on breaks, and things like that. But in most situations, the kids are with the mothers. So in no way can you really give your man your full attention because you always have your kids. Now, as far as men who always have their kids, who the kids that live with them, in no way can you give your lady your full attention because you always have your kids. And now those are like the two main reasonings I'll see people say why they don't want to date other parents, because the priorities and because of the drama that comes with it, when on both ends is going to be drama. Now, as far as the people, the men and the women who don't have kids, what makes y'all think that they want to deal with all of that and not have any kids? Like, completely don't have any kids at all, but you want them to deal with what you got going on. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's very delusional. And whoever says different, that's your opinion. This is mine. But at the end of the day, I feel like parents should date other parents. I feel like people with no kids should date the other people with no kids.
So I don't fully agree. You can definitely be a priority in someone's life who has children. That's, to me, I don't agree with that. Some of you guys might agree, but yeah. Like, let's take Sierra, for example, right? She was a single mom. Russell took her as a single mom. You know, they built a life together, family together. So yeah, it's not that. Like the lady said in the beginning of the video, if you know for a fact that you do not want children and you do not want to date anybody with children, because there's a lot of people out there who are okay with dating somebody with kids. I at one point was okay with it. I know I'm too selfish to date someone with children. What do you mean we're spending time together and all of a sudden your phone rings and then you gotta go because your kids called? No, no. I would never be able to do that to you. And also it bothers me because you could be lying. You could be lying. At any moment, you could use that as an excuse to go and cheat. Your girlfriend, your side piece is calling you, and you're using kids as an example, as a getaway. No, I've experienced dating someone with kids, and little things like that. It messes with my mind. It bothers me. It makes me question the relationship. Makes me doubt the person. Why have all of that? I don't want to deal with all of that. So I know I would benefit from a dating app like this, just for child-free people. So yeah, but I know there's a lot of people out there who are okay with dating people with kids.
Why does it trigger people so much when people who don't have kids say that they only want to date people who don't have kids? What is so wrong with us wanting to date people who don't have kids as people who don't have kids? Nobody is saying that you having a kid is wrong or bad. I don't have a kid. I don't want to date nobody who has a kid. Like, stop it. The true feelings are showing.
And raise your hand if a man has ever tried to trap you with a baby. Oh my God. Unfortunately, you can't even really tell a man you don't want kids nowadays because he takes it as a challenge. A fucking challenge. A lot of them want to get you prego just to be able to say they did. There's some sick people out here. And I realize that not wanting kids means your chances of finding somebody else who don't want kids, especially a cishet man who don't want kids, who also has his head on straight, who isn't a liar, a cheater, a piece of trash, who's emotionally intelligent, the odds of finding that on top of him not wanting kids, I know is very, very slim to none. But shit, I'll take my chances. And if you want kids, that's fine. Just go have them with some other woman, not me. You can't even really tell a man you don't want kids nowadays because he takes it as a challenge.
Not only do they take it as a challenge, but you should see how single dads are acting on dating apps. Back when I was still on dating apps, I would put in my dating profile, I don't want kids, I'm child free. And I would always check with people when I message them because some people don't put that on their profile. Like, hey, just want to let you know, before we even take this to a first date, I don't ever want kids. And if that's something that you want, I'm not here to waste my time. I would have two types of men who just completely did not get it. First, we're single men who don't have any kids and say, yeah, I'm child free right now, but in the future I want them. And that's not what child free means. The second type, we're single dads who would then admit to me that they don't see their kids. I'm not going to have to worry about it. I'm not even really that involved. But they thought that the way to overrun my boundaries and get me to be okay with that would be to admit that they are deadbeats. This is why I think any woman is dumb to have a baby with any man, because of what I have seen.
I don't trust fathers that do not put that they have children on dating profiles when it gives them the option to do so. Let me just say, I think that they're deadbeats, to be quite honest. I think that they're deceitful. I think their intention is to be deceitful, and or they are a deadbeat. And let me tell you why. So I was on a dating profile, and this is Hinge, by the way. And Hinge gives you an option to say if you have children, what your current family plans are, right? Do you have children? And what do you want? Are you open to children? Are you da-da-da-da? Are you da-da-da-da? Are you da-da-da-da? I do not date men with children. Point blank period. My preference, teach his own. I don't care, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So I matched with this guy, and his first message to me is, I really want to take you out, but you ditched me because I got a kid. So the first thing I do instantly is go to his profile and look to see where the kid's at, because I don't even have that in my preferences. And he has, I'm open to kids, but he doesn't share that he has a kid on the profile, although it allows you the option to do so. And so I say to him, yes, that is accurate. Those sentiments remain the same. This is very telling of your character. I wish you the best. He then comes back and goes, telling of my character. Maybe I just don't want people to know I got kids. Again, telling of your character. Again, telling of your character. Because nothing makes me more upset than when I go on a profile of a man and I see not only children, but I see he has children. And I go, oh my goodness, look at this involved father. My Lord, swipes left. Swipes left. Swipes left. Because if you have children, I can understand not posting the children online. Of course not. But when it gives you an option to say if you have children, when you're presenting yourself on dating apps, And the about me is just basic information. Children are part of basic information about you. The fact that men even believe that that can be something that they can't add or cannot add on their profile is absolutely diabolical to me. And I think it's very, very telling of mother's baby, daddy's maybe. Because what do you mean? And he's trying to come at me like, I just don't want people all in my business because I want you to get to know me. And I'm like, you are exactly how the grad school dude was. I love me some grad school dude. I mean, baby, he was everything to me. And in a few days, I said, you're too good to be true. Something's wrong. What's wrong? He goes, I'm just looking for the time to tell you about my son. Baby, I think I dropped my fork. I think I dropped my fork when he told me that. Because I'm like, how are we 3 days in? And you just now telling me about a kid. You know I don't date men with kids, but also it's 3 days in. How has your child not come out 3 days in? And he said to me, and I quote, and if you see this, G.I., if you see this, Mr. Ross, yes, I'm talking about you. And yes, you was good. And yes, you was slanging. But you was lying. And he said to me, and I quote, I just wanted you to get to know me before you learned all about that extra stuff. You tried to deceive me. You wanted me to be so enthralled with you. You wanted me to be so up in you, so into you that I now try to, find excuses or reasons to be with you because you now have a child. You're bringing this into my attention later on. No, sir. So then he came back. And then he said, I just want women to get to know me for me first before I start talking about kids. Because just like you right now, I tell you I got a kid and you don't want to talk. And I said, exactly. I said, but what, does that make sense to you? I said, so again, how is that not trying to be deceitful? Because if I'm a father or if I'm a mother and I'm dating, I wouldn't want to be around anybody that does not want to be a mother or does not want to be a father or does not want to be with a person that already has existing children. That just doesn't seem smart because you can't get rid of the children. So why would you even engage with a person that doesn't want to be bothered with you and or your kid? Why would you want to get to know that person? Why would you want them to get to know you without the understanding that you have children? How is that safe for you and or the child? Who are you protecting? What are you trying to do? Tell me how you're not trying to be deceitful. If you are a mom and you don't have your kids on your profiles, pictures, that makes sense. But if the option on the profile says, do you have children? And then you just don't put that you have children. And then later on you tell the man, hey, I got kids. And then he's like, oh, I don't mess with girls with kids. And then how is that you not trying to be deceitful or wasting somebody's time? Wasting time is the part of being deceitful as well. But he just got all up in roar. I'm not a real father, so I'm not a real man. All the fathers that I know have that they daddies on their profiles. All them fathers that I know, they let it be known that they got kids up front. And if you don't want them, kick rocks.
And it's even harder to date when you don't have kids, I've managed to not have kids all the way up to my 30s, so I'm even more cautious, a lot smarter. I've seen a lot, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of shit happen to my homies, my brothers, shit like that. So I just want to make sure I have a good wife, an even better mother for the woman that I do choose to be in my next relationship. And the thing is, I don't want to be in another relationship. I want my next relationship to be my last relationship, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to have multiple relationships. I've never been big on just jumping into relationships and shit like that. I be really trying to get to know a motherfucker. Like, it takes me a while. My love is really you understanding me and me understanding you. So I just feel it takes time for that to truly happen. You need time for that type of shit to get to know somebody for real.
Do I date women with kids? The answer to that question is no, I don't. Let me tell you my reasons why. One, I don't have kids. I don't have kids.
So I just got through watching this gentleman's video, and I'm gonna tag him either below or in the comments, and I want y'all to go watch that full video. But he talks about him not wanting to date anyone with kids, and in the comments are so many women who seem so angry and upset that people don't want to date women with children. and they're like, oh, your wife is probably someone with kids. His wife cannot be someone with children because he does not want a woman with children. And I tell this to single women without kids all the time. Stop dating men with children. I don't care how old you think you are getting. If you do not want someone with children, you do not have to date someone with children. And if you have children, look for other people with children. Stop trying to force your children on people who have yet to procreate. Now, if you do not have children and you don't mind dating anyone with children, that's fine. If you are currently dating someone with children and you do not have children, that is also fine. But when someone says they do not have kids and they don't want to date anyone with kids, stop trying to shame them. When I was single and before I had children, I would run into guys that had kids and they would always be like, how come you don't want a man with kids? Like, what's wrong with that? You getting older. Like, I was like late 20s. And they're like, you're getting older. You know what I'm saying? It's not many of us out here. We got kids. I was like, it's enough. It's enough for me to stick to my standard. And they were like, well, why is that? Because having a child is a gift. That is something that I want to give my husband. That is a gift that I want to give to a man who has yet to be given that. I'm not going to give that to anybody. And a lot of you women need to stop giving the gift of life. And another point that some of the women brought up is like, what about when you get a divorce, or if you get a divorce, or one day the tables are going to be turned? Most of us that have these ideas in our head do not date people, or would not date someone once a divorce, or if a divorce happens, or God forbid something was to ever happen that would cause me to re-enter the dating world. I would not date someone who does not have children and wants them. Now, if I came across someone who has made it up in their head like, I don't want to have children, and by then my children are of a certain age, then cool. But I would not date someone who has yet to have children but wants children. Like, that's just not for me. I think that they should go find someone who does not have children as well.
And for the last fucking time, if you don't have no fucking kids, stop fucking with them niggas who got kids. The fuck? Why would you want your first experience at being a mother to be a fucking stepmother? What type of fucking logic is that? You want to be in a child's life that you didn't even fucking have about a man who sat up there and had a baby with a lady that he didn't plan on being with for real? Now, unless that's his ex-wife, okay, that's cool. But at the end of the day, it's plenty of men out here that don't got kids. Just wait a fucking minute. Because, bitch, I know I got one. Got a nigga with no kids. I'm not doing that shit. If you got a fucking kid, that's good for you. Get you a fucking lady that got a fucking kid and y'all have a blended fucking family. Fuck all that shit.
Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I want to know, would you guys want a dating app? I understand that some people are completely fine being alone. I know I am. I don't mind dying alone like these men out here be saying, you know, you're gonna have a bunch of cats and die alone. That's completely fine. But I don't also know that a lot of people benefit from having, you know, a good partnership, from having a companion. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, understanding the risks, understanding that what comes with ignoring red flags, okay? Understanding that you're laying next to your number one predator. That doesn't sound good. But yeah, I know that, you know, some people actually want to get married or at least have a partnership, and there's nothing wrong with that. Before you go, so I have two new YouTube channels. The first one is the Feminine Lounge, and the second one is the Breaking Fifth Edit. The Breaking Fifth Edit is really all about deconstructing Christianity. I started it a few days ago, and I'm still getting like my footing with the videos and stuff. And the Feminine Lounge is really all about like a soft approach on the topics that we don't talk about here, you know, encouraging women to start over, talking about domestic violence, you know, on a more encouraging way, like leave your partner, leave situations that no longer serve you and stuff like that, you know, encouraging women to invest in themselves, like kind of staying away from the pick me femininity channels, but also like empowering and encouraging women. Like, so I'm just trying to find my footing with that as well. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and check out the videos before you subscribe and see if it's something that you'll be interested in. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in my next one.